Hello everyone, I'm Koyatayak, and looks like Unity said, you know what, everyone is having a spotlight for the wrong reasons. At the actual PR that you didn't want, they said this corpus they just really wanted. So, well, this one was reposted by Redot. Insists Unity can't help themselves. So, what is the context from this? So, from Ground's poster up here, Unity Engine is upsetting developers again. So they didn't learn that already with the download licensing? That if the user download a certain amount of copies, yeah, they are making, they're forcing developers to pay the price? Seriously, I thought they would say, you know what, let's correct ourselves. No, they are going back again, even without Richitello. So sending emails out to require expensive pro licenses. So 2200. Oh man. Sometimes for people who don't even work at the company. Fuck. Asking developers already on pro licenses to provide proof or get their access revoked when they already have a pro license. And you know how they do it is almost like fucking Adobe. My experience with Adobe is just dog shit. There to check the license, you always need to have that DRM that takes like 20% of your memory RAM at all times, even when you're not using. When you stop using for example, Dreamweaver or Photoshop, that fucking crap is still working on the background, taking resources out of you and crippling your computer because yeah, it's taking too much processing at that point. Just for the sake of saying, we need to check what you do at other hours. And I bet Unity is trying to implement something like that to force those developers to pay again. So asking developers already on pro licenses, so they will say, "Oh, but we need to check that one. We need to check your license." And you said, "You know what? Why don't you install this other piece of software to check if you have the license?" Man, the way how these corporations within software tech they are just laughable, man. So continue on. This seems to be data mistakes, but when some developers tried contacting Unity, Unity insisted they were correct. Other cases have been resolved. It's a bit of a hint or mixed process. Yeah, because more often than not, the the support for the company they oftentimes they say nothing only because the corpus want to see how some people react and act as such while also doing stupid shit. Well, just to end this, it's becoming very confusing situation that threatens a lot of small studios with uncertainty. It is not clear how to be a compliance moving forward when the data collections and monitoring are not seemingly accurate. Yeah, that's my main issue with the licensing nowadays how they use. Look, even if I bring you an example with Microsoft Office, hey, to anyone that remembers Windows XP, do you remember when we used to have disk drives attached with a license to whatever text software you will use in that computer? I remember when even people show it to me full copies of Microsoft Office and Photoshop, all right, in antivirus software that at least say, you know what, you install it, it's just one use forever. You only pay it once with the physical editions. Just like with games nowadays that they already paved the way to erase physical ownership of certain video games by doing this attachment like the licensing requirement. Yeah, PC or other type of software they have been dealing that. And it looks like Unity is on the same way, but well for the developers. Because, they fuck up too much. It looks like they say, you know what, I want my money. Where is the money? Fucking shit show with this company, man. But well, that said, Unity, of course, summarizes better. They haven't learned their lesson. Anyway, thanks for watching and please take care.